Greetings to you, conquerors. It is indeed a beautiful day, and you are destined for great things. Welcome to our series of Leadership Development 1, LD1, Episode 1. Amazing and wonderful. I hear you've been asking yourself questions for a while now. Questions such as, who am I? Why am I here? Where did I come from? What can I do? And what's my purpose? In other words, you are asking, what is leadership? It is not an easy topic. Mind-boggling it is. Well, do not worry. As you can see, Conqueror Leadership has got you covered. Yeah, be happy. What is leadership really, and why is it important? Leadership cannot be defined in one go because it pertains to all of life. For you to be a true and effective leader, you must go through a practical and intellectual process of growth from potential to becoming what you're born to become. In societies that we live in, we have systems, and each system has, number one, stakeholders or owners or people with positions. Number two, the system itself with the structures thereof. Number three, the workers down there who get salaries for their services. So in this agreed upon system, whatever you do to make this system viable is an act of leadership. And by viable, I mean true and effective. Think deeply about this. A flock of sheep led by a lion, if asked to fight against a troop of lions led by a sheep, which group wins? Obviously, the lion leader team wins because of the attitudes and mentality of their leaders. That's why leadership is a major concern to you, because you know deep down that it affects you somehow. Like what Bill Hybels said, I quote, "Everyone wins when a leader gets better." To study leadership effectively, we weigh and observe the outcome and principles implemented. If they bring true and effective results, we list people with good outcomes and find common and intersecting good principles they implemented, and these principles and methods becomes the backbone of our studies of leadership. We have a great leader, Jesus, whose methods were beyond imagination. His principles, like for example, in order to have life, you gotta surrender your life. To be the greatest, you've got to be the servant. That true happiness consists of giving and not getting. He has revolutionized the business world, true, turning once non-profiting businesses into remarkable profit margins, bringing about a strong aspect of love, and that leadership is about people, not things. We have great leaders like Moses, who made mistakes in some ways but still came out with amazing results. Others probably just had a few moments of glory in being true and effective. We also study them. Leadership is asking the right questions. Questions like what, how, and why. The same questions that you've been asking yourself before. Who am I? Why am I here? Where did I come from? What can I do? And what's my purpose, if you remember? In industries, like what Lisa Lai said in a Harvard Business Review, I quote, "The reality is that strategy succeeds or fails based on how well leaders at every level of an organization integrate strategic thinking into day-to-day operations. This is less about complexity and more about practical focus." So for an organization to have an effective strategy, the leaders must infuse the insightful vision of the organization with oversight reality. You gotta note that leadership is self-awareness and self-discovery. You lead from where you are. You have succeeded, obviously, when you manage to use your gifts and talents to uniquely bring effectiveness into the true vision you carry as an organization. That's why your leadership will always be unique. To achieve all of this, you must be friends with why. Why should be a leader's friend? To question intentionality and seek the truth. Remember, in as much as leadership is self-discovery, leadership must be dead to self. That is the strongest and most effective way. And the only way a person achieves that is by asking why to themselves, or make it a rule that every person asks themselves the why every time or on every task. Now, that is the path to greatness. Every leader is different because a person leads from where they are, and every person has unique gifts, experiences, and destiny. Number 2, leadership is positive intentional change. Let's address myth 1. If I give you a position of leadership, then you're automatically a leader. Well, this is not true at all. Leadership should not be understood as just a position, because there are many with leadership positions but have failed to lead, whilst others have no official positions yet have changed the world. Myth 2. Leadership is just an exercise of power. This is not true as well. Many have possessed great power and ability yet have failed to lead effectively, often misusing what they have been entrusted with. We often see it in many of our so-called presidents or political leaders or church leaders, etc. Look at men like Hitler, who tormented the world. He held a leadership position, great power and influence, yet he misused all the advantage he had to further his personal agenda. This is far away from true and effective leadership. If you don't know the purpose of something, you will often misuse it. On the other hand, we see a woman heavily laden with strife, stepping out with no leadership position, yet she transformed the world. That today we speak of her bravery and kindness. Mother Teresa. Now, that is true and effective leadership. Discovering yourself and going all in to do the impossible. Leaders mix faith and reality, and they courageously go out to fulfill their destinies. So, the degree of leadership that has been exercised can be measured by the degree of positive, intentional change that has occurred. So, I tell you, be an effective change agent of God. Number 3, leadership is a process. I'll ask you a question. Is leadership a one-time event? The answer is no. Number 2, does it only reside in one person? The answer is no as well. But leadership is an emergent process which involves various people and processes. Oh yes, bravo to that, bravo. Leadership quickly gained becomes a curse. Be wise. You know that God's creations have mind-boggled scientists to wonder. No new invention did we ever think for ourselves. There is nothing new under the sun. Remember that. An aeroplane, it's because we wanted to be like birds. A submarine, we wanted to be like fish. Robots are just human-imitated machines which are still far, far away from matching a human being. I've never known the Creator to make a mistake. He established processes of growth. Follow them and your leadership will have roots. No true and effective leader is without history. I want you to remember that. No true and effective leader is without history. Thank you. Well, see you in the next video as we speak about what sustains your leadership. If you found value in this video, show your love and like this video. That does 2 things. First, that gives us the motivation to continue to make free valuable content for you. Second, it helps other people just like you to find our videos more easily on YouTube or Facebook. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already done so. That way, our videos will be sent to you directly as they are published. Follow us as well on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram.